I constantly struggle with this stuff I do. I still see scenes in films that I've done and go, God, why did I make that choice? Or why did they use that take? The more films that you make that are successful, it seems, the more there's a certain pressure on you to keep making great films. That's a sort of scary thing. When you're just starting out, you want to be amazing and you want to get noticed, and it's a certain drive that you have. I think that there's a certain jaded quality that comes with success and recognition. Of course, I'm constantly learning. Every experience I have working on and off set, but you know, I constantly struggle with whether I am becoming jaded or whether I'm able to step outside of what I'm doing and kind of have a look in. You know, that I think that tunnel of vision gets narrower and narrower, you know, the more and more you work. You go through periods when you doubt very much what you're doing. Other periods, I suppose, when you seem to know yourself really well. And, you know, being an actor, it's a very strange sort of profession. You're manipulating your emotions all the time. It's very unnatural, going against the grain. And I think that it's something that the more you know about yourself, and it seems to be the more you grow, you know, and the older you get, you're able to have more things to sort of pick and choose from. And know yourself.
I think in the end you're found out, and it's therefore what you choose to do and what you deliver. Yeah, I knew pretty at a very young age that it was something I wanted to follow. I grew up being taken to the theatre a lot and going to the cinema a lot, and it was just a passion. I was a real sponge for it. I loved it, and then at the first opportunity as a kid in school, putting on plays, it just felt like a dialogue, a place where I was comfortable. I remember putting on plays as a class with the teacher obviously directing and just thinking, this didn't feel like class, this felt like play. And it felt easy, it felt comfortable, I felt at home. I guess as soon as I made the connection that could also be a job that you would do, it seemed like an obvious direction to go in. And then, you know, the passion takes over when you also realize there's a not a serious element, but an element of you can actually have a voice. You can bring a voice to things that you care about, people that you care about, subject matters that you care about. I did an awful lot of theatre first. It felt also that I was following the footsteps of a British tradition of cutting my teeth on the stage. I'm really grateful for that. I feel that it enabled me to become much more aware of the mechanics of being an actor and the demands of being an actor, and also the respect for the process and the craft of being an actor.
I mean, when I finally did movies, that was what I was trained. I mean, that's kind of like...
So that came easy to you when you made that transition?
No, not easily. I mean, because at first when you're doing film, example, I was doing The World According to Garp, and I improvised. It was the first day of shooting.
Who directed? I forgot.
George Roy Hill.
Yeah.
And I improvised a line, and he made a face like this, like, not good. He went, no. Just say the lines, and commit to that. I went, okay. And that was the first great lesson. The second great lesson came from Peter Weir, who said, you know, you have great power listening. And I went, really? He went, yes. That's the second part of the equation. When you listen to someone, it's quite fascinating. And stillness is very powerful. And I went, second great lesson, you know? And third great lesson is always find out where catering is. But it was the idea of these guys were giving me these great lessons.
Listening is great.
Yeah, and the idea of really listening and the idea of what it means to be engaged in listening. And you find, and the other great gift was Jeff Bridges, who said, whenever there's an accident in terms of filming, not like something really falling down, but a line may get flubbed or something goes off, he said, that's a gift, because that forces you to be in the moment and deal with it. Rather than trying to improvise and create that, it's something that happens and everybody's
respond to
what's going on immediately. And it was another kind of, oh, cool. And don't be afraid to try those things, and it forces everybody to kind of engage, as in life, with the immediate moments.
I'd like to be more consistently here, you know? I'd just like to really see how long I could last as being really here, you know, really in it, really alive in the moment, you know. I'd like to just be more here all the time, and I'd like to see what I could get done, what I could do if I really didn't cloud myself with automatic, you know, if I were able to not get distracted, to not let the not change channels in my mind and body, you know. So I was just, you know, I'm my own channel, you know. I was just really here and always with you, you know. Like you could look at me and go, okay, he's there, you know, there's someone there. You know how it is when you look in the mirror? You don't think about it, but you look in the mirror and you go, oh, sure, there's that guy. And you catch yourself like what you were, the state you were in when you looked in the mirror. When you catch yourself in that mirror, you see the state you're in. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you confident? Are you rosy? Are you beleaguered? Are you here? You know, and most of the time you're not. You're just like, oh. It's almost like you want to look away because it's like, that's not me there. That's what I'm doing right now, but that's not necessarily me. It's all contained in your body, you know, everything you got. You know, your mind, your spirit, your soul, your emotions, it's all contained in your body. All the prospects, all the chances you ever had.
There's no such thing as about to quit something that I've been doing for 20, 30 years. There's frustration. There's rethinking, like, okay, maybe I'm not taking the right path to get to where I need to. And at that time, I was older. I was a headliner, and I was doing these gigs, and you know how the gigs is. I was in Indianapolis when I found out that I wasn't going to get SNL, and I was just sitting in that hotel room, and you're older, and you go, I just had to fight the promoter for my money, and you're like, I don't know how much longer I can do this. And I'm really good at what I do, but how much longer can I do this? And that's what I want to tell everybody. It's okay to come home and go, I want to quit. It's okay.
I do it all the time.
Exactly. As long as you get up the next day
and go
and do what you got to do. What people fail, and I'm going to say this because this just sounds cliche, but I'm going to say this. You are in control of your happiness. You are. Not your job, not your love, not your money, not your advice. You are. If you're not happy, find out what makes you happy. If there's a goal, you're not dead. You can start at 99. You're not dead. Go. Stop complaining about it. Everybody going through what you're not special. You're not special.
When I was 29, I told myself, the next acting job I get, no matter what it pays, I will, from now on, for better or worse, be a working actor. So I quit my position at the Professional Examination Services, and now I didn't have either the internet or a cell phone or a job. But something good happened. I got a low-paying theater job, which led to a film with the same writer, which led to other roles, which led to other roles. And I've worked as an actor ever since. I didn't know that would happen. At 29, I was terrified. 10 years in a place without heat, 6 years at a job I felt stuck in. Maybe I was afraid of change. Are you? Once I graduated, I was on my own. This made me very hungry. I couldn't be lazy. And so at 29, and a very long last, I was in the company of the actors and writers and directors I'd sought out that first year, that first day after school. I am by their sides. Raise the rest of your life to meet you. Don't search for defining moments because they will never come. The moments that define you have already happened, and they will already happen again. And it passes so quickly. So please bring each other along with you. Everyone you need is in this room. These are the shiny, more important people.
I thought that life would go on forever. And then I worried somewhere in the middle years, life is going away and I haven't done this, I haven't been here, I haven't done that, I have been denied that experience, or I've denied myself that experience. So I tried to go everywhere at once and do everything at once. And now, time is much slower for me. I'm happier now than I ever was in my life. Why did I wind up being an actor rather than a scientist who was, studying entomology or be an animal trainer? It wasn't financial. Because it was financial, I could have made a lot of money. Listen, everybody in this life is an actor. People don't say what they want. First of all, you can't act unless you are what you are and who you are. You shouldn't ever believe what you hear, and you shouldn't ever believe what you read.
Don't you realize that you're thought of as the greatest actor ever?
See, that's a part of the sickness in America, that you have to think in terms of who wins, who loses, who's good, who's bad, who's best, who's worst. We always think in those terms, in the extreme terms. I don't like to think that way. Everybody has their own value in a different way, and I don't like to think who was the best at this or that. I mean, what's the point of it?
To all of you watching here, come close to the screen and listen. People don't have to like you. People don't have to love you. They don't even have to respect you. But when you look in the mirror, you better love what you see. You better love what you see.